All right, welcome to your February 26 Newswire briefing. We're going to jump right in and cover the essential financial and tech updates that you really need to be on top of this month.
So, what's on the agenda? We've got 5 big updates. First, we'll tackle 2 really crucial tax changes. These are going to affect everyone from sole traders to families planning their estates. Then, we'll switch gears over to tech. We're talking IT security, the future of AI in shopping, and a huge shift in digital ID policy.
Okay, let's kick things off with part 1, the tax update. You'll definitely want to lean in for this part, because these are immediate changes that are going to hit your personal and business finances directly.
And we're starting with a big one, making tax digital. You've probably heard it called MTD. It's not coming soon anymore, it's here. Now, if you're a sole trader or a landlord, listen up, because this is for you and the clock is absolutely ticking.
So, how is this all happening? Well, it's a phased rollout, which is actually pretty interesting. It all kicks off this April for anyone with an income over £50,000. But here's the key thing to notice. That threshold drops over the next couple years. So even if this doesn't affect you right now, chances are it will very, very soon. And this is the most important thing to get your head around for right now. Starting April 6th, if you're in that first bracket, you have to start submitting quarterly updates to HMRC, and you have to use approved software to do it. This isn't a small tweak, folks. It's a major change, and you've got to be prepared.
Okay, so what do you actually need to do? Well, it really boils down to 3 simple steps. First up, check if you're affected. Confirm your income bracket. Step 2, you've got to choose an HMRC-approved software. And third, and this is super important, you have to register with HMRC yourself. They are not going to do it for you.
All right, let's switch gears to our next tax update. And you know what? This one is actually some really good news. The government has just rolled out a massive change to inheritance tax relief, specifically for business and agricultural assets. I mean, just look at that jump. The allowance has more than doubled, all the way up to £2.5 million.
And this number right here, this really shows you the real-world impact of that change. Because that new allowance can be transferred between spouses, a couple can now pass on up to £5 million of qualifying assets totally tax-free. And that's on top of the standard allowances. For family businesses and farms, this is a game changer. And look, you don't have to just take my word for it. In official terms, HM Treasury is saying this will drastically cut down the number of estates that get hit with this tax. This quote basically confirms that, for most people, the situation won't get worse. And, for a whole lot of people, it's about to get a lot better. Okay, that's it for tax. Let's shift gears and dive into part 2, the tech and business update. Here we're going to be looking at some new guidance, some emerging tech, and policy shifts that are going to shape how you run your business.
I mean, let's be honest, every single business runs on tech these days, but finding the right IT support, it can feel like walking through a minefield. Especially with cyber threats getting more and more sophisticated, how do you actually know if your IT provider, your MSP, is really up to the task? Well, thankfully, the National Cybersecurity Center has just released a guide to help with exactly that. And these are the critical questions they say you should be asking any IT provider you're considering. Seriously, think of this as your essential security checklist. It covers everything from their certifications to how they manage your data and, crucially, how they'd respond in a crisis.
Okay, now for something that feels a bit like science fiction, but it's right around the corner. You've definitely heard of generative AI, right? Well, get ready for agentic AI. The real clue is right there in the name, agent. This type of AI isn't just about creating stuff, it's designed to act on your behalf, making its own decisions and taking independent actions.
So, is this a huge deal? Well, right now, opinions are all over the place. On one side, you've got people predicting this will have a bigger impact on the economy than the internet did. No kidding. But on the other side, you have a lot of experts urging caution, saying that its current abilities are being, way overhyped.
So, what could this actually look like in the real world? Okay, imagine this. You have a personal digital assistant, an AI gent, that doesn't just find you the best deal on a new car. It also checks your bank account for affordability, finds the financing for you, and even negotiates the price with the seller on your behalf. I mean, that's the future of shopping they're talking about.
And finally, for our last update this month, there's been a pretty major policy shift. The government has done a U-turn on its plans for a national digital ID system.
The change itself is pretty straightforward, but its impact is huge. The original plan was to make the official digital ID mandatory for things like right-to-work checks. But the new plan? It's now completely optional. Now, digital checks are still on the way, but you won't be forced to use the government's specific ID for them.
So why the big change of heart? Well, this number really tells the whole story. A petition in Parliament against making digital IDs compulsory got nearly 3 million signatures. It's a really clear example of public opinion directly shaping government policy.
Phew. Okay, that was a lot to get through. So let's just take a moment and quickly run through the key takeaways from this month's briefing.
All right, here's what you really need to remember. First, MTD. If your income is over 50 grand, you need to get your software sorted right now. Second, inheritance tax. Go and review your estate plan because it could be way more tax efficient now. Third, IT support. Use that NCSC guide to seriously vet your provider's security. Fourth, AI. Start paying attention to these AI agents because they really could change how we all shop. And finally, digital ID. You can breathe easy knowing that the official government ID is optional.
And that just about wraps up our briefing for this month. From tax and AI to cybersecurity, it's clear the landscape is always shifting under our feet. So the one question I'll leave you with is this. When you think about all these changes, is your business really prepared for what's coming next?